Imagine for a moment that everything you have, every person you know, every moment and possession could disappear. It's a truth we often ignore. But at the heart of Stoicism lies the impermanence of life. This concept is not to discourage us, but to teach us to value each moment and find serenity in uncertainty. Today, we will explore how this equips us to face life's inevitable losses and changes. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius were no strangers to suffering or loss, but they found unbreakable strength in their philosophy. It's not about eliminating emotions or pain, but transforming our reaction to them. Why is this crucial? Imagine living without the constant fear of loss. Not only do you free yourself from any anxieties, but you also open yourself to more joys and opportunities. Learning to see each loss as a natural part of life's cycle and not as an absolute end empowers us to live with fullness and courage. In this video, we will delve into how we can apply Stoic principles to cultivate a more resilient mind and an open heart. We will explore concrete practices and reflections that have helped millions over the centuries to see loss not as an end, but as a transformation. We invite you to watch the video to the end and to activate notifications so that YouTube will let you know when we upload a new video. Discover how to take control of your emotions and unlock your true potential with the books listed in the description below. These books are essential guides. By purchasing books through the links we share, you help us continue creating more wisdom content. Overcoming material losses. Losing something material that we value can be a devastating experience. Think of a business you've dedicated years to, or a house that represents all your memories and efforts. For many, these losses are not just economic, but deep emotional wounds. They can feel like the end of their opportunities, as if their dreams have suddenly vanished. The emotional connection to what we have lost can be so strong that it feels like a part of our identity has gone with it. We wonder who we are without those possessions that we valued so much. What will become of our future now that we no longer have what we worked so hard to build? Stoicism offers us a different perspective to face these losses. One of its most powerful practices is amorphoti, or the acceptance of fate. Instead of wasting our energy on regrets over what we can no longer change, we learn to accept what has happened as an inevitable part of our life. Imagine for a moment if we could see our losses not with sorrow but with serenity. How much peace could we find by recognizing that suffering is often greater in our imagination than in reality? Another crucial aspect of Stoicism is detachment from material goods and professional roles. Understanding that jobs and possessions are temporary helps us not to define our personal value by them. Our worth does not lie in what we have or the title we hold, but in our essence, in who we are without all that. Maintaining self-confidence and identity regardless of external circumstances is an act of true freedom. Accepting the present as it is also fundamental in Stoicism. We are taught that some things are beyond our control, and it makes no sense to waste energy wishing they were different. Instead of seeking revenge or lamenting what was lost, we can practice the art of acceptance and move forward. The key is to focus on what we can control and let go of the desire to change what has already happened. However, Stoicism not only helps us accept losses, but also transform those experiences into opportunities. Every loss can be a push to identify new needs in the market, to innovate and adapt. Resilience is not just a response to adversity, but a skill that allows us to seize new opportunities that present themselves. Managing negative emotions is also essential. Clinging to resentment only consumes us emotionally and mentally. Instead of wasting our energy on lamentations, we can use it constructively. Transforming that pain into strength and positive action allows us to move forward more firmly. Justice and revenge also have a particular perspective in Stoicism. The desire for revenge arises from attachment to the external and what we believe we deserve. Reflecting on situations where there is no clear culprit such as natural disasters, helps us understand that revenge does not always make sense. True peace comes from accepting that not everything needs to be controlled or fixed in our favor. It is crucial to focus on the present and constructive action. The only thing we really have control over is the here and now. Finding ways to grow and improve from our current situation allows us to see beyond the losses and build a stronger future. A powerful Stoic practice is negative visualization. Regularly imagining the loss of valued possessions and roles may seem negative, but it actually strengthens our gratitude for what we have and emotionally prepares us for future losses. This practice not only makes us more resilient, but also helps us appreciate our current blessings more deeply. History offers us inspiring examples of Stoic resilience. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, lost all his fortune in a shipwreck, but saw this tragedy as an opportunity to dedicate himself to philosophy. Epictetus, who was a slave and then exiled, taught that true freedom comes from within, not from external circumstances. And Marcus Aurelius, who faced the loss of several of his children, maintained his duty as emperor and his philosophical practice, showing admirable strength and serenity in the face of adversity. Remembering these examples motivates us to see our own losses from a new perspective. It's not about minimizing our pain, but finding in it an opportunity to grow, to emerge stronger and wiser. Because at the end of the day, everything passes, and what remains is our ability to face it with dignity and serenity. Applying Stoicism to heartbreak, love, that intense and wonderful feeling, begins in an almost magical way. It's like an explosion of emotions, a mix of chemistry and pure passion. At first, everything seems perfect. The famous honeymoon phase, where every moment together is special and full of joy. But inevitably, that phase evolves over time. The relationship enters a more realistic stage. It's no longer just instinct or chemistry, but the conscious effort we put into keeping that connection alive. However, sometimes, despite our best efforts, love begins to fade. Feelings gradually disappear, and it can be painful when we realize it's no longer the same. Even more painful is when love becomes one-sided, when one person still feels, while the other has moved away. It's in those moments that we need to face the reality of separation. Accept that the end has come even if it hurts. It's easy to fall into erroneous beliefs about love and relationships. We think we can control others' feelings, or that our happiness depends solely on that special person. The illusion of ownership of a relationship can lead us to think we have a right over the other. This only generates more pain when things don't go as we expect. This is where Stoic teachings offer invaluable guidance. One of the most important lessons of Stoicism is recognizing the limits of our control. We cannot control how the other person feels. We can only control our own actions and reactions. Seeking happiness in personal virtue instead of depending on someone else for our joy helps us remain firm even in difficult times. Understanding that no one is someone else's property frees us and allows our relationships to be healthier and more authentic. The process of emotional healing after a breakup is painful but essential. Accepting pain as a natural part of the process is the first step. It's tempting to resort to unhealthy escape mechanisms, such as immersing oneself in excessive work or superficial relationships, but this only prolongs the suffering. Recognizing the impermanence of all things, including relationships, allows us to heal and move forward. Each person has a different love language, and recognizing and respecting these differences is crucial. Open and honest communication in a relationship can make a big difference. And when heartbreak comes, time becomes our best ally. Life has its cycles of joy and pain, and patience and perseverance in the healing process help us find peace again. We must not fear vulnerability or expressing our emotions. Allowing ourselves to feel and cry is part of the healing process. Crying is not a sign of weakness, but a way to release accumulated pain and make way for recovery. Additionally, It's important to cultivate gratitude for past experiences. Every relationship teaches us something valuable, even if it doesn't end as we expect. Appreciating the moments shared and the personal growth we gained from the relationship allows us to see heartbreak from a more positive perspective. Building healthier relationships in the future is an achievable goal. Applying the lessons learned and developing a balanced perspective on love prepares us for stronger and more authentic connections. A useful Stoic practice is emotional reserve in relationships, which involves maintaining an independent emotional core. This doesn't mean loving less, but cultivating emotional self-sufficiency to maintain our stability, even in case of loss. Musonius Rufus, a Stoic philosopher, offers an excellent example of how to handle love and heartbreak with dignity. His teachings on self-control and the importance of maintaining our integrity, even in the pain of heartbreak, are applicable in our modern lives. He shows us that, although love can bring suffering, it can also be a source of great personal growth and strength. Ultimately, heartbreak is a painful experience, but also an opportunity to learn and grow. Stoic teachings provide us with tools to face these difficult moments with wisdom and serenity. Remember that pain is temporary, and that with time and reflection, we can find peace and happiness again. Resilience in the face of illness. When we receive an unexpected diagnosis, the emotional impact can be devastating. It's like the ground opens under our feet, challenging our emotional structures and leaving us in a state of shock. In those moments, inner strength and acceptance become our best allies in the healing process. Accepting what we cannot change allows us to focus on what we can control, our attitude and our resilience. By cultivating a resilient mindset, we not only positively influence our recovery, but also find a deeper purpose in our experience. The mind plays a crucial role in how we perceive and respond to health challenges. By cultivating a mindset of resilience and gratitude, we transform difficult situations into opportunities for growth. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or difficulty, but rather seeing each obstacle as a lesson. The connection between our mental attitude and our physical well-being is undeniable. When we face adversity with a positive attitude, our body responds better, our mind remains clear, and our emotions are balanced. In the face of illness, managing our emotions is essential. It's easy to fall into the trap of guilt and regrets, but this only distances us from healing. Instead, practicing acceptance and seeking inner calm helps us nurture resilience. Adversity can be a great teacher if we are willing to learn. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen our character and deepen our wisdom. One of the greatest fears we face in illness is the fear of death. The Stoic perspective on mortality offers us a way to confront this fear. By finding purpose and meaning in life, even in its finitude, we use the awareness of our mortality as motivation to live fully. The certainty that life is temporary drives us to make each moment meaningful, to value each day, and to take nothing for granted. Illnesses also lead us to reevaluate our priorities and values. We change our perspective on what is truly important and begin to live with more intention and gratitude. We should not wait for extreme situations to reflect on the purpose of our life. From a Stoic perspective, every day is an opportunity to focus on what truly matters and let go of the superfluous. Social support is vital in times of illness. Recognizing that we are not alone in our healing process gives us an immense source of strength. Cultivating meaningful relationships and leaning on our loved ones helps us face any challenge with more courage and hope. Stoicism also teaches us about the mind-body unity. Our thoughts can directly influence our physical health. Practicing Stoic meditation in times of illness, using visualization and self-examination techniques, helps us maintain calm and perspective. Daily reflection allows us to center ourselves and find serenity even in turbulent times. Stoic virtues such as courage, wisdom, justice, and moderation are sources of strength in adversity. Cultivating these virtues guides us through difficult times, keeping us firm and balanced. Accepting change and impermanence reminds us that health, like everything in life, is transitory. Finding peace in accepting what we cannot control frees us from unnecessary suffering. A valuable Stoic practice is the premeditation of adversities. Visualizing and mentally preparing for potential health challenges may seem daunting, but it actually reduces anxiety and improves our resilience. Preparing mentally gives us the ability to face any situation with more calm and clarity. It's a practical technique that we can apply in our daily lives to always be ready for the unexpected. The story of Epictetus offers us an inspiring example of how to face adversity with dignity. As a slave and with a physical disability, Epictetus taught that true freedom and happiness come from the mind, not the body. His teachings are a powerful reminder that even in the most difficult circumstances, we can find inner peace and strength. Facing an unexpected illness is undoubtedly one of the greatest challenges we can live through, but it is also an opportunity to discover our true strength. Stoic teachings offer us practical and philosophical tools to navigate these difficult times with wisdom and serenity. Remember that although we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond, and in that response, we find our true freedom and power. Stoic wisdom to face the loss of a loved one. Losing a loved one is one of the most devastating experiences we can face. The emotional turbulence that follows a loss can feel overwhelming, as if the entire world has turned upside down. It is common to experience a roller coaster of emotions: sadness, anger, denial, guilt. All these feelings mix and leave us with a void that seems insurmountable, an absence felt in every corner of our daily life. In those moments of deep pain, Stoic teachings can offer a beacon of light. Seneca, for example, advised allowing pain to manifest, but without letting it consume us completely. Crying is natural and necessary, but we must not get trapped in an endless cycle of suffering. Marcus Aurelius, on the other hand, spoke of balancing mourning and moving forward. It is important to honor our feelings, recognize our humanity, but also find the strength to move forward. Each person faces grief uniquely. There is no manual that tells us how we should feel or how long our mourning should last. It is crucial to respect our personal time of mourning, allowing ourselves to feel and process each emotion at our own pace. Seeking emotional balance does not mean forgetting, but learning to honor the memory of those we have lost without losing our own way. The Stoic perspective about possession and loss is particularly useful at these times. Epictetus reminded us that nothing truly belongs to us, that everything in life is temporary. Accepting this temporality helps us find solace in gratitude for what we had, instead of clinging to the pain of what we have lost. This acceptance does not minimize the pain, but allows us to see it from a different, broader, and more serene perspective. Stoic practices can be powerful tools for facing grief. Philosophical meditation, for instance, helps us develop acceptance and resilience. Reflecting on purpose and meaning, even in pain, can transform our experience of loss into an opportunity for growth. Honoring the memory of our loved ones, keeping their positive influence alive in our lives, gives us a new sense of direction and purpose. Reason also plays a fundamental role in the grieving process. Seneca spoke about using reason to manage grief, seeking a balance between emotional expression and reasoning. This approach allows us to process pain healthily, without letting it drag us into a state of despair. Personal responsibility for our emotional well-being is another pillar of Stoicism. Although the pain of grief is inevitable, we can make the conscious decision to move forward, to commit to our own growth despite the pain. This choice empowers us and gives us the strength to keep going. Grief can be an opportunity for inner development. Although it may sound contradictory, pain can teach us to love without bitterness, to appreciate life and relationships more deeply. Transforming pain into personal growth is an act of bravery and wisdom, a way to honor those we have lost by living our lives with more fullness. Community and social support are crucial in times of grief. The Stoics recognize the importance of community support in difficult times. We are not alone in our pain, and meaningful connections with others can be a tremendous source of strength and comfort. Preparing ourselves mentally for loss, a common practice in Stoicism, can help us face grief when it arrives. Contemplating mortality and loss is not morbidity, but a way to strengthen our emotional resilience. This preparation helps us stay calm and keep perspective when facing reality. The Stoic practice of view from above invites us to visualize our loss from a broader, cosmic perspective. Seeing our pain in the context of the vast universe can bring a sense of peace and acceptance. This technique helps us contextualize our personal suffering, reminding us that we are part of something much larger. Epictetus' example and his approach to the loss of loved ones is inspiring. There is a story about a father who loses his son and how Epictetus taught him to maintain perspective and serenity even in the deepest loss. His teachings remind us that while pain is real and profound, true freedom and happiness come from our mind, not from external circumstances. Facing grief with Stoic wisdom does not minimize the pain, but it gives us tools to navigate with more strength and serenity. Our vulnerability, seeking comfort in the community, and transforming pain into growth are steps towards a fuller and more meaningful life, even in the midst of loss. Overcoming the loss of opportunities. Losing an opportunity can feel like a devastating blow. We've all been there at some point. Maybe it was a job you really wanted, an investment that didn't go as expected, or a relationship that didn't materialize. Those moments when you see a door close can be incredibly disheartening. You wonder, what did I do wrong? Or what could I have done differently? It's natural to feel that mix of disappointment, frustration, and uncertainty. But this is where Stoicism can offer a powerful perspective. The Stoics teach us that many events are beyond our control. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said that we must focus our energy on what we can control and accept with serenity what we cannot. Imagine being able to free your mind from the burden of those what-ifs. By recognizing and accepting that we will not always have control over the opportunities that arise or are lost, we can find a deep inner peace. It's crucial to recognize and validate our emotions. Feeling disappointment or frustration does not make us weak. It makes us human. The first step to overcoming the loss of an opportunity is to allow ourselves to feel those emotions without judging them. Cry, talk to a friend, write about it. Whatever helps you process those feelings is valid and necessary. Now let's talk about how to apply Stoic principles to the loss of opportunities. One of the most important lessons is amor fati, which means love of fate. This idea invites us to embrace everything that happens to us, good or bad, as part of our path. Instead of cursing our luck, we can learn to accept that every loss has something to teach us. Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic, reminded us that the obstacle in the path becomes the path. This means that difficulties and losses are not barriers, but opportunities to grow and strengthen our character. Reevaluating our expectations is a fundamental part of the process. Sometimes we become so attached to an idea of what our life should be that we forget to adapt to what it is. By adjusting our expectations and realigning our goals, we can mitigate the impact of lost opportunities. It's essential to maintain a balanced and objective perspective. Not everything is lost because one door closed. There may be 10 more about to open if we have an open mind and the willingness to see them. What strategies can we use to handle loss? A powerful practice is daily reflection. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to think about what you've learned, how you've grown through difficulties. This not only helps us process emotions, but also allows us to see losses from a broader perspective. We can ask, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this lesson to improve? After a loss, it is vital to remain proactive in seeking new opportunities. Life is in constant flow, and every end can be the beginning of something new. Let us be inspired by stories of people who, after facing significant setbacks, found even greater success. Think of figures like Thomas Edison, who after countless failures invented the electric light bulb. His perseverance and ability to see each failure as a lesson show us that there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Maintaining emotional balance is key. Serenity and inner peace do not come from avoiding problems, but from learning to face them with calm and clarity. Practicing patience, self-control, and reflection helps us stay centered, even when things do not go as we expect. Resilience is a pillar of Stoicism. This philosophy teaches us that true strength comes from accepting impermanence and change. Each experience, good or bad, contributes to our personal evolution. By integrating this vision into our daily life, we develop resilience that allows us to face any challenge with a clear mind and a strong heart. The loss of opportunities can have long-term implications in our personal and professional life. But instead of seeing this as something negative, we can see it as a series of lessons that prepare us for the future. Each experience makes us wiser and more prepared for the opportunities to come. Let us reflect on everything discussed. Overcoming the loss of opportunities using Stoic principles not only helps us face these challenges with more serenity, but also prepares us for a fuller and more balanced life. Remember, everything passes. The doors that close today can lead you to paths you never imagined. The key is how we respond to these moments, how we choose to move forward with dignity and serenity. Stoicism in the loss of health. Facing the loss of health can feel like the world suddenly crumbling. Everything you took for granted changes, daily routines, the things you enjoyed doing, even how you see yourself. Everything is affected. It's a hard blow that forces us to rethink many things. But here, Stoicism can be a powerful guide to navigate these difficult moments. When we receive an adverse diagnosis or face a deterioration of our health, the initial reactions are often shock, sadness, and sometimes even anger. It's natural to feel overwhelmed by a wave of emotions, and it's crucial to allow ourselves to feel those emotions without judging ourselves. Crying, talking to someone you trust, or simply taking time to process the news are necessary steps to start healing emotionally. Stoic principles teach us the importance of accepting what is beyond our control. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, reminds us that it is not things that disturb us, but our opinion of them. Applying this to our health means accepting that there are aspects of our condition that we cannot change. However, we can control how we respond to them. This acceptance is not resignation, but a way to free our energy, to focus it on what we can manage. Refocusing our attention on what we can control is a crucial step. Instead of lamenting what we have lost, we can look for ways to improve our quality of life within new limitations. This could mean adopting a healthier diet, finding exercises adapted to our abilities, or simply learning to listen more to our body. Each small step counts and helps us maintain a proactive and positive attitude. It's also important to maintain our dignity and self-esteem. The loss of health can make us feel less valuable or less capable, but our value is not determined by our physical abilities. As Marcus Aurelius taught, we must remember that our true value lies in our mind and character. Detaching our self-worth from our physical state helps us remain strong and dignified, regardless of circumstances. Social support plays a vital role in these moments. We are not alone on this journey. Friends, family, and communities can offer the emotional and practical support we need. Talking to someone who understands what we are going through or simply receiving a hug at the right moment can make a big difference. This support not only helps us feel less alone, but also strengthens our resilience. Adapting to a new reality can be seen as a reflection of Stoic flexibility. Instead of resisting change, we can learn to adapt and find new ways to enjoy life. This may involve finding new hobbies, rediscovering old passions, or simply enjoying the quiet moments of reflection. Flexibility and the ability to adapt are keys to living fully despite limitations. Meditation and daily reflection are powerful tools for managing stress and anxiety related to health. Taking a few minutes each day to meditate, focus on our breathing, or reflect on our experiences helps us maintain calm and perspective. Simple meditation techniques can be especially helpful, such as visualizing a peaceful place or repeating a positive phrase. Finding a new sense of purpose can transform the experience of health loss. Often, adversities push us to re-evaluate our priorities and find a deeper purpose in our lives. This can mean dedicating oneself to helping others, learning something new, or simply living each day with more gratitude. We can be inspired by historical figures who faced similar adversities, like Epictetus, who shows us that there is always a way to find meaning and purpose. Remember that Stoicism not only teaches us to survive, but also to grow from adversities. The loss of health is a huge challenge, but also an opportunity to discover our true strength. By adopting these Stoic principles, we can face these challenges with dignity, serenity, and renewed resilience, accepting our vulnerabilities, seeking comfort in our community, and transforming pain into growth are steps towards a fuller and more meaningful life, even amid adversity. Reconciliation with the loss of youth. Aging is a topic we often avoid. In a society that glorifies youth, beginning to see signs of aging can be disheartening. We look in the mirror and notice those first grey hairs or wrinkles, and a feeling of nostalgia or even fear can start to invade us. But what if I told you that Stoicism offers us a different perspective, one that helps us reconcile with the loss of youth? We've all felt that mix of emotions when we realize we are aging. It can be a sense of nostalgia for days gone by or fear of the unknown that comes with aging. It is crucial to allow ourselves to feel these emotions, accept them, and not judge ourselves for it. They are part of our natural process of adaptation. Stoics like Seneca teach us to accept the natural course of life. Aging is as natural as breathing, and fighting against it only brings suffering. Seneca said that living according to nature is embracing each stage of life, accepting both the good and what we perceive as bad. It is a reminder that each moment has its own value, and that wisdom comes from accepting reality as it is. Instead of focusing on what we have lost, why not focus on what we have gained? Maturity brings with it a wealth of experiences and knowledge that we did not have in our youth. Each wrinkle is a medal of earned wisdom, each grey hair a sign of accumulated experience. These are the true jewels of life. Let us remember that Stoics deeply valued wisdom and experience as the true sources of wealth. Maintaining vitality and curiosity is essential. No matter how old we are, we can always learn something new, explore new interests, and stay active. Curiosity has no expiration date. Staying physically active, finding new passions, or simply continuing to cultivate a love for learning can keep our mind and body in good shape. Social support is vital at this stage of life. Meaningful relationships with friends and family not only enrich our lives, but also provide the emotional support necessary to face the challenges of aging. Sharing our experiences, laughing, and crying together strengthens bonds and reminds us that we are not alone on this journey. As we age, it is natural for our goals and aspirations to change. Reviewing and adjusting our goals to our current capabilities is a healthy practice. This does not mean giving up on our dreams, but adapting them to our present reality. By setting realistic and rewarding goals, we find new ways to feel accomplished and content. Stoicism teaches us to accept change and impermanence. Nothing in life is permanent, not even our youth. Accepting this reality helps us find inner peace. Instead of fighting aging, we can embrace it as a natural part of life. This acceptance leads us to deep and lasting serenity. Living in the present and finding joy in small things is one of the most powerful teachings of Stoicism. Instead of worrying about the past or the future, we can learn to appreciate the here and now. Cultivating gratitude for the small daily joys, such as a conversation with a friend, a walk in the park, or a good cup of coffee, can transform our perspective. Recapping, Stoic wisdom equips us to face aging with grace and strength. By accepting each stage of life, finding joy in the present, and valuing accumulated wisdom, we can live fully no matter our age. We invite you to embrace each wrinkle as a sign of a life well lived. Youth may fade, but the wisdom and serenity we gain with the years are invaluable treasures. Let us live each day with gratitude and openness, seeing each moment as an opportunity to learn and grow. Transforming financial loss. When we face a financial loss, it can seem like the ground opens up beneath our feet. Maybe you invested time and effort in a business that didn't work out, or perhaps an unforeseen situation consumed your savings. It's natural to feel a mix of stress, anxiety, and disappointment. But this is where Stoicism can offer a valuable perspective, helping us transform this loss into an opportunity for learning and growth. The first step is to recognize and process our emotions. Losing money or financial stability can trigger a wave of negative feelings. It's crucial to allow ourselves to feel these feelings without judging ourselves for it. We can talk to friends, write about our worries, or simply take a moment to breathe and accept the situation. Recognizing our emotions is the first step towards overcoming them. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control. Seneca said, "We cannot change events, but our attitude towards them." Instead of getting stuck in the "why did this happen to me?" we can ask, "What can I do now?" This mindset allows us to move from despair to constructive action. Let us focus on the actions that are under our control, such as restructuring our budget, looking for new opportunities, or learning more about personal finance. Reevaluating and adjusting our financial goals is essential after a loss. It's not about giving up on our dreams, but adapting them to our new reality. We can set new realistic goals that reflect our current situation and work towards them with determination. This flexibility helps us stay motivated and focused, even in difficult times. Developing financial resilience is a crucial skill. Resilience is not just about recovering from a loss, but also about better preparing for the future. We can create an emergency fund, diversify our investments, and continually educate ourselves about personal finances. These actions not only strengthen us financially, but also give us a sense of control and security. Stoicism values simplicity and austerity. Living simply is not only a Stoic philosophy, but also a solid financial strategy. Reducing unnecessary expenses and living within our means allows us to save more and be better prepared for future eventualities. Simplicity does not mean deprivation, but finding satisfaction and contentment with less. Seeking support and financial advice is a smart strategy. We are not alone in our difficulties. Talking to a financial advisor or joining a support community can provide us with valuable guidance and resources. These supports can offer us new perspectives and strategies that we may not have considered. Accepting loss is fundamental to moving forward. Stoicism teaches us that acceptance is not resignation, but a serene acknowledgement of reality. By accepting the loss, we free our energy to focus it on building a better future. Instead of lamenting what is lost, we can focus on the opportunities that lie ahead. Each financial loss carries valuable lessons. We can learn to be more cautious, to better evaluate our decisions, and to strengthen our financial discipline. These lessons not only help us avoid future mistakes, but also make us wiser and more resilient. Every mistake is a learning opportunity, and every challenge is a lesson on the path to wisdom. The loss and loneliness. Loneliness is something we all experience at some point in our lives. It can arise after the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or even significant changes like retirement. That sense of emptiness and isolation can be overwhelming, but Stoicism offers us valuable tools to face and transform it. When we find ourselves in the midst of loneliness, it is normal to feel a mix of sadness, isolation, and perhaps even a questioning of our identity and sense of belonging. Accepting and recognizing these emotions is the first step to overcoming them. There is nothing wrong with feeling this way, and allowing ourselves to experience these emotions without judgment is crucial for healing. The Stoics like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius taught the importance of accepting what we cannot change and focusing our energy on what we can control. Facing loneliness means embracing the opportunity for growth it offers us. Instead of seeing loneliness as a punishment, we can see it as a moment to rediscover ourselves. It is a valuable time to explore new passions, develop interests, and reevaluate our personal goals. Loneliness can be an opportunity for self-discovery. In these moments, we can find new passions, rediscover forgotten hobbies, or even set new goals. This rediscovery of oneself can be deeply rewarding and can transform loneliness into an experience of personal growth. Although Stoicism values self-sufficiency and independence, it also recognizes the importance of human connections. Seeking the support of friends, family, or even new relationships can be fundamental to managing loneliness. Meaningful connections offer us comfort, understanding, and a sense of belonging that is vital in these moments. Developing emotional resilience is key to facing loneliness. Strategies such as meditation, reflective writing, and volunteering can be extremely useful. Meditation helps us maintain calm and perspective. Reflective writing allows us to process our emotions, and volunteering connects us with others, offering us a sense of purpose and community. The role of community and social support cannot be underestimated. Actively seeking support communities or interest groups can offer significant comfort. These groups not only provide us with emotional support, but also allow us to share our experiences and learn from those of others. Transforming pain into growth is one of the most powerful teachings of Stoicism. Accepting loss and loneliness as part of our journey allows us to use these experiences as a boost for personal and spiritual growth. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to strengthen our character and deepen our understanding of life. Implementing daily Stoic practices can be very beneficial for managing loneliness. Morning reflection, for example, helps us mentally prepare for the day, while contemplating the nature of life and impermanence allows us to maintain a balanced perspective. These practices anchor us in the present and offer us a solid foundation from which to face any challenge. Recapping, Stoic wisdom guides us to face loss and loneliness with dignity and strength. Accepting our emotions, rediscovering ourselves, seeking support, and transforming pain into growth are crucial steps to finding peace and a renewed sense of purpose in life. The next time you face loneliness, remember that you have the power to transform it into an experience of personal enrichment. Let us live each day with gratitude, embracing each moment as an opportunity to learn and grow. Loss of professional identity. Losing our professional identity can feel like losing a fundamental part of ourselves. For years, our work and career have defined who we are, giving us a clear purpose and sense of direction. But what happens when that identity fades away? Maybe you retired, were laid off, or simply your career took an unexpected turn. It is normal to feel a mix of insecurity, anxiety, and a sense of emptiness. Here is where Stoicism can be a beacon of light in the midst of the storm. The emotional impact of losing our professional identity should not be underestimated. Suddenly, daily routines and long-term goals crumble, leaving us in an emotional limbo. We feel our self-esteem waver and our purpose disappear. It is crucial to recognize and accept these emotions, allowing ourselves to feel without judgment. Crying, talking to friends, or simply taking time to reflect are necessary steps to start the healing process. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control. Epictetus said that we cannot change events, but we can change our attitude towards them. Instead of getting stuck in despair, we can ask, what can I do now? This mindset allows us to move from despair to constructive action. By focusing on actions that are under our control, such as improving our skills or seeking new opportunities, we begin to rebuild our identity from a more solid foundation. Reevaluating our values and redefining success are fundamental steps after losing professional identity. This is an opportunity to ask ourselves what we really value in life. Is it the title on the business card or the impact we leave on others? By reevaluating our priorities, we can redefine what success means to us based on our values and not just on our professional role. Our identity is much more than our job. Expanding this concept allows us to discover personal aspects and hobbies that are also part of who we are. Maybe you are passionate about art, enjoy sports, or find joy in volunteering. Exploring these other aspects of our identity can be incredibly rewarding and help us feel whole beyond our professional life. Resilience and flexibility are key in this process. Life is full of changes, and adapting to them is essential. Developing resilience means being prepared for ups and downs and learning to see each challenge as an opportunity to grow. Flexibility, on the other hand, allows us to adapt to new circumstances and find our way, even when things don't go as planned. Continuous learning is a powerful tool. It's never too late to learn something new or improve our skills. This not only keeps us mentally active, but also strengthens our confidence and opens new doors. Whether through courses, reading, or practical experiences, continuous learning is a way to revitalize our professional and personal identity. Seeking support and mentorship can be a great relief. Talking to mentors or joining support networks offers us new perspectives and valuable resources. These supports remind us that we are not alone and that many have gone through similar situations, finding new directions and purposes in their lives. Incorporating daily Stoic practices can help us maintain emotional stability and a sense of identity. Daily reflection, for example, helps us stay focused and aware of our actions and decisions. Meditation offers us calm and clarity, allowing us to see beyond immediate difficulties and find peace in the midst of chaos. Finally, remember that every end is also a new beginning. The loss of professional identity can be painful, but it is also an opportunity to reinvent ourselves and discover new passions and purposes. By adopting a Stoic perspective, we can find strength in adversity and emerge with a renewed identity and a deeper purpose. Facing the loss of professional identity with Stoic wisdom allows us not only to survive the storm, but also to grow and find a new direction in our lives. Each challenge is an opportunity to strengthen ourselves and rediscover who we really are, beyond the titles and roles that once defined our existence. Recovery post-trauma. The Stoic vision, facing trauma can change our lives in ways we never imagined. It leaves us marked, makes us question our perception of the world, and often leaves us feeling loss. The impact of a traumatic event can be devastating, but Stoicism offers us powerful tools to find light in the midst of darkness. Initially, after a traumatic event, it is normal to feel a mix of shock, denial, and fear. These responses are natural and part of the process of assimilating what we have experienced. Allowing ourselves to feel these emotions without judging them is the first step to recovery. It is crucial to understand that there is no right or wrong way to react to trauma. Each person processes it in their own way. Stoicism teaches us to accept what we cannot change. Marcus Aurelius said, "We must receive everything that happens, whether good or bad, as part of life." Applying this principle to trauma means recognizing that what happened cannot be undone. Accepting this reality frees us from the burden of trying to change the immutable and allows us to focus our energy on our recovery. Distinguishing between what we can and cannot control is fundamental. We cannot change the past or eliminate the pain at once, but we can control our reactions. and how we choose to face the future. Practicing calm and serenity in the midst of chaos is a skill the Stoics deeply valued. This means breathing deeply, reflecting, and allowing ourselves to find peace in the midst of the storm. Rebuilding the meaning of life after trauma is a challenging but essential process. The Stoics encourage us to find new meanings and purposes. It may be a good time to reevaluate our priorities and discover what we truly value. This process of rebuilding allows us to transform the traumatic experience into a source of growth and personal strength. Community support is vital in the recovery process. Although Stoicism values self-sufficiency, it also recognizes the importance of human connections. Talking to friends, family, or support groups offers us comfort and reminds us that we are not alone in our struggle. These connections can give us the strength we need to move forward. Developing Stoic resilience involves adopting daily practices that strengthen our spirit. Meditation and philosophical reflection are powerful tools. Taking a few minutes each day to meditate helps us find calm and clarity. Reflecting on our experiences from a Stoic perspective allows us to see trauma as part of our story, not our definition. Transforming trauma into strength is one of the most powerful lessons of Stoicism. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to strengthen our character. Epictetus said that it is not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. Seeing trauma as an opportunity to grow instead of an insurmountable obstacle allows us to emerge stronger and wiser. Practicing daily gratitude can be an invaluable tool in our recovery. Despite the pain, there is always something to be grateful for. This focus helps us maintain a positive perspective and value the small joys of life. The path to healing is long and full of ups and downs, but Stoicism offers us a compass to navigate. Accepting our emotions, finding meaning in our experience, and seeking community support are crucial steps. Let us always remember that although we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. And in that response, we find our true strength and capacity for resilience. So, the next time you face trauma, remember that you have the power to transform that experience into a source of strength and wisdom. Let us live each day with gratitude and openness, seeing each moment as an opportunity to learn and grow, even amid pain. Acceptance of loss in relationships. Losing a significant relationship can be one of life's most devastating experiences. Whether it's the end of a romantic relationship, a close friendship, or even the death of a loved one, these losses leave a deep void in our hearts. This pain is real and felt in every corner of our existence. But Stoicism offers us tools to face and overcome this adversity. It's normal for the loss of a relationship to awaken a storm of emotions: sadness, anger, resentment, and a deep void. These emotions can be overwhelming, and it's okay to feel them. Allowing ourselves to experience these emotions without trying to suppress them is crucial for healing. Stoicism does not ask us to ignore our pain, but to face it with courage and serenity. The Stoic principles of acceptance teach us to see loss as part of the inevitable nature of life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that everything we love is destined to change and eventually disappear. Accepting this truth does not eliminate the pain, but it helps us find peace amid the storm. Acceptance does not mean resignation, but recognizing that some things are beyond our control and learning to live with them. The key is to control our reactions and emotions. We cannot change what has happened, but we can control how we respond to it. Instead of being consumed by pain, we can apply Stoic techniques such as meditation and reflection to find calm and clarity. Asking ourselves, "What can I do now?" instead of "Why did this happen to me?" allows us to move from despair to constructive action. Each experience of loss is an opportunity to learn and grow. Stoicism encourages us to see each challenge as a lesson. Asking ourselves what we can learn from this experience helps us transform pain into wisdom. Perhaps we learn more about ourselves, our needs and desires, or how to build healthier relationships in the future. Redefining our personal identity after the loss of a relationship is crucial. Often, we define ourselves through our relationships, and losing them can leave us feeling disoriented. But this is an opportunity to rediscover ourselves, to find who we are beyond those relationships, exploring new passions, setting new goals, and reconnecting with ourselves help us find a new sense of purpose. Forgiveness plays a vital role in this process. Forgiving ourselves for any mistakes we believe we made, and forgiving others for any harm they caused us frees us from resentment. Forgiveness is not forgetting but liberating ourselves from the burden of hatred and rancor. It allows us to move forward with serenity and inner peace. Seeking and accepting support from our community is essential. Talking to friends, family, or a therapist offers us the comfort and understanding we need. We are not alone in our pain, and sharing our experiences helps us feel connected and supported. Human connections remind us that although we have lost a relationship, there is still love and support around us. Implementing daily Stoic practices can be extremely helpful. Morning reflection, meditation, and gratitude are powerful tools. Reflecting on what we have learned, meditating to find calm, and being grateful for what we still have help us maintain a positive perspective. These practices anchor us in the present and offer us a solid foundation from which to face any challenge. Relationship loss can be painful, but it is also an opportunity to grow and strengthen ourselves. Each end is a new beginning, and each challenge is an opportunity to learn. Stoicism offers us a guide to transform pain into a source of strength and wisdom. By accepting our emotions, learning from our experiences, and seeking support from our community, we can find peace and a renewed sense of purpose in life. So, the next time you face a relationship loss, remember that you have the power to transform that experience into an opportunity to grow. Let us live each day with gratitude and openness, seeing each moment as an opportunity to learn and strengthen ourselves, even amid pain. Stoicism and the management of permanent change. Change is a constant in life, something we all face, but often fear. It can be terrifying because it takes us out of our comfort zone, challenges us, and forces us to adapt. However, Stoicism offers us a powerful perspective for managing permanent change, helping us see it not as a threat, but as an opportunity for growth and strengthening. We face a variety of emotions when significant change presents itself: uncertainty, fear, resistance. It is natural to feel this way. Our instinct is to cling to the known, to the safe. But it is important to remember that these emotions, though uncomfortable, are part of the adaptation process. Allowing ourselves to feel them without letting them paralyze us is essential for moving forward. Stoic principles teach us to accept what we cannot change and focus on what we can control. If you want to learn more about Stoicism and continue transforming your life, we encourage you to check out the books listed in the description below. These books are filled with valuable insights and practical advice from the great Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. Whether you're looking to build inner strength, find serenity, or achieve a balanced life, these books are essential guides. By purchasing books through the links we share, you help us continue creating content. If this is your first time on the channel, we ask you to help us by subscribing and liking the video. This way, we can continue creating more content like this in the future. Thank you for joining us today. What resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue this journey of self-improvement together. If you're at a loss for words, just type "stay strong, stay positive, and stay true to yourself" to show you've made it through our session. Your interaction fuels this community, guiding us towards wisdom, understanding, and above all, the art of turning every challenge into an opportunity. If you like this video, please do not forget to like, subscribe. If you have not done so yet, ring the notification bell and drop a comment below. See you in the next video.